Good afternoon. Throughout my boyhood in Haiti, I often heard upper-class people say to friends, "We're looking for a child to help us in the house." Days later, a little boy or little girl would be delivered to their doorsteps, just like I had been delivered to the family with whom I began to stay when I was just 4 years old. Children like us were called everyone in the house, including babies, Monsieur, Madame, or Mademoiselle. People referred to us as Restavec. It's a Haitian word that means to stay with. But we could be thrown out into the street when no longer needed. As children, we were the first to rise and the last to go to sleep, often under a kitchen table. We walked the family's children to and from school, but we were denied education. We set the table for meals, but we were not allowed to eat with the family we served. We answered when called, but we were forbidden to speak until spoken to. We stayed within the sound of their voice, but out of their sight. We never dreamt of becoming anything in our future because we fear for our safety every waking moment. This type of modern slavery, the legacy of colonialism, has existed since Haiti became a nation state. There are approximately 300,000 children in domestic slavery serving the lower class. Because of a popular satire in the 1980s by the late Haitian radio personality Maurice Sixto, and the publication of my first book in 1998, Restavec, the upper class no longer used children as domestic slaves. I am convinced that colonial slavery did far less damage to its children than does the Restavec servitude today. The colonial slaves in the New World usually had their own communities where children received parental love and lived their childhood without inordinate fear. Children of slaves knew they were inferior, but not to those who were black like themselves. Like most children, they were disciplined by their parents, but generally not abused. They could be childlike and noisy at times instead of silent and invisible, like many children in Restavec servitude today. Poor and illiterate peasants in the countryside, where schools are scarce, routinely send their children to slightly less poor people in the cities in the hope that their children will have a better life. But in most cases, these children find themselves carrying loads that were detrimental to their physical development and generate incomes for the host families who actually believe they were helping them. Child slavery perpetuates poverty, illiteracy, and crime. I believe that Haiti as a nation state is severely ill. It seems that every segment of its society is desensitized to the plight of children in domestic slavery. The reality is that all parties, especially the children being walked or carried to school, are taking part in perpetuating the Restavec system. Haitian people do want their country to be part of the civilized world, but they refuse to recognize the dark reality that prevent their unlocking the shackles of the past. They are aware that the entire Western Hemisphere looks down on them and their country as incapable of growth and forward movement. It is almost as if the slave paradigm is a nationwide security blanket. The Haitian Ministry of Social Affairs said that the Restavec system will disappear once the problem of poverty has been solved. But the people who had enslaved me were not poor. The former Haitian ambassador to the United Nations said the Restavec system is so ingrained into Haiti's social fabric, only a change in mentality can solve the problem, and Haiti lacks the resources to undertake the task. My road to freedom began when the family with whom I had lived, moved to the United States. I was perhaps 16 years old. I never knew my age for sure. My birth was never registered. I could read and do basic math thanks to a literacy center that I attended during evening hours. With a fake birth certificate, a passport was obtained for my trip to America. When I boarded the airplane to New York in 1969, I opened my travel documents. My birth certificate said that my mother's name was Florence Cadet, father unknown, date of birth February 15, 1955, place of birth General Hospital, Port-au-Prince, Haiti. I knew that everything in the documents was false. Florence had been my owner, not my mother. My father was known, not unknown. The name Cadet was lent to me, not my own. I was born in the countryside, not in the capital city. In New York, I continued doing the same work that I had done in Haiti. I was enrolled in a secondary school when the family realized that it was against the law to deny schooling to a minor. But a few months later, I was put out of the house and told to stop using Cadet as my last name. However, as a young person, alone in a foreign land, I'd find myself too preoccupied with survival to pursue changing my name. With the help of a teacher, I received social assistance and eventually graduated from high school. It took me 3 years. I joined the US military and subsequently attended the University of South Florida and graduated with a bachelor's degree in international studies in French. Later, I received a master's degree in French literature from the University of Cincinnati in Ohio. Over the years, I have evaluated the statements made by Haiti's Foreign Ministry of Social Affairs and the former ambassador. I believe wholeheartedly that the new generation can be sensitized to prevent the perpetuation of child servitude. In my Stone of Hope, my second book, I included a call to action page with steps that Restavec No More, an organization that I created, has begun to implement. Our greatest hope lies with changing the hearts and minds of the youngest generation. We are doing this through a curriculum being introduced in Haitian elementary schools that teach respect and empathy. We are doing this through media, billboards that provoke thought, radio shows that stimulate discussion, and now a music video being played on TV stations across Haiti that bring the plight of children in servitude into homes. The next step is to have all Haitian children learn the song written by a Haitian poet, Marie-Camille Pérodin, whose words are reaching Haiti's population at a subconscious level. The song is becoming the I Have a Dream speech for children in domestic servitude.
C'est comme un qui s'y posait des petits moun, while yo vire tête en bas à la traka. Fiel là pour ça fin pété, ti kam en vie sauvé, contre la vie ti moun sa yo, c'est pas sérieux.
Sou persiste ignorer droit ti moun yo, sou pas je ti camarade la pour ça. Les Jéhovah l'ouvri, les a dit c'est toi patron, Alberto Chojo avec au pas ça dormi. L'envie qu'on est réveillé,
Les arrivés, pour nous briser la tête, pour nous tout petit moun bejo,
il est pour tout petit moun, petit moun.
I thank you very much for allowing me to speak, to give children in domestic slavery everywhere a voice. Thank you.